What's going on, preppers? I hope that you guys are doing well out there. Things are getting bad out there. Things are getting bad, but I'm gonna keep it positive on this video. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you're notified as soon as I release new videos and new content. I'm receiving new information all the time, and I'm really grateful for some of the inside resources that I have. In this video, I wanted to talk to you guys more about, number one, the fact that things are actually getting worse, and new reports are actually saying that things will continue to get worse for at least the next 6 to 9 months. So it's all about prepping. I'm not seeing food shortages everywhere. I went to a number of different grocery stores this week for different items. Not seeing a tremendous amount of food shortages in the different grocery stores that I did visit. However, in the comments, I have actually seen quite the contrary. So it looks like it really depends on what stores you're hitting up and maybe the geographical location of the grocery store that you're in. But food shortages are real. Even the president said that. So it's all about preparation, and supporting our local farmers. I've been reading a lot more about farmers actually selling their farmland because they're actually having a tough time making ends meet. And that's a real serious situation. Kind of like the small businesses, we should be supporting our small businesses wherever we can, whenever we can. We don't want them going out of business. But from a food standpoint, the shortages, I would say the worst that I've been seeing is on the outskirts. So, typically a lot of the suburbs are doing pretty good on stocking up and having their shelves fairly well stocked, whether it's a Dollar Tree or a Walmart or a Publix, a Kroger, the Aldi's, they're doing pretty good in the suburbs. However, when you venture out kind of more toward the rural areas, and what I didn't realize, so when you venture out toward the more rural areas, I tend to see more of a shortage situation in those regions. But one thing I was going to say to you guys is that I came across this information about Bill Gates. So I've been hearing more and more about the rich and wealthy individuals buying up farmland. And I didn't really think anything of it, but then I began to think later on, after hearing about it for months on end, that, these guys tend to get ahead of the curve. They didn't become rich and wealthy by, just kind of like, letting things happen to them. So I started kind of digging into it, and I was trying to understand what the heck are they doing. So real briefly, because I actually want to get into some of the comments that I have from the community. I want to read your comments, and I also want to react to them a little bit. But it says here, investments in farmland are growing across the country as people, including the ultra-wealthy like Bill Gates, look for new ways to grow their money. It said here, in 2020, Bill Gates made headlines for becoming the largest private farmland owner in the United States. He accumulated more than 269,000 acres of farmland across 18 states in less than a decade. It says here, his farmland grows onions, carrots, and even potatoes, which are used to make McDonald's French fries. It says here, it's an asset with increasing value. It has intrinsic value, and even beyond that, it's a limited resource. And I almost want to say that more than anything else, most importantly, it's a limited resource. And it's really scary because, if you don't personally have farmland, we are literally 100% dependent on whatever they have in the stores. And, depending upon where you live, store shelves are fairly empty in some areas. For the most part, me personally, I've seen if store shelves are empty, it's more like, okay, it's a section of a shelf. It's not the entire shelf, or maybe certain brands of foods are not available. Perhaps the empty shelves might just be certain brands. But I will say, the last time I went to Walmart? No, last time I went to Aldi. Was it Kroger? No, it was Aldi. Last time I went to Aldi, there was no vinegar. So I don't know what was up with that. There was no vinegar. Also, the oils were quite low. Olive oil was very low, not entirely empty, but olive oil was quite low on the shelves. So that was definitely something that I wanted to share with you guys. But it says that the demand for farmland is forcing higher prices. As commodity prices are going up, pent-up demand are price factors. Farmers National Company has reported this information. And get this, it says here that interest in buying agricultural land has grown since the pandemic slowdown blanketed the land market last spring. Farmers are feeling more financially secure as strong commodity prices arrived on top of large government payments back in 2020. But as you guys know, the government is not issuing those payments like they were at one point. So some farmers are feeling the pinch and unfortunately feeling the need to sell the family farm. Not cool. So, you know, I'm a huge fan of supporting small businesses, local businesses, and of course our farmers. But let me go ahead and jump into the comments with you guys. I wanted to address some comments that really kind of caught my eye. One second, let me get this for you. And guys, you know, inflation is real, and Laura has a great point here. She says our store brand bread was $1.29 today. It's been $1 forever. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain though, because it's still not a bad deal for as much as you get. And $10 a loaf is insane. I just wouldn't pay that. I have a bread machine and several bags of flour and some yeast. I have to get cracking and make some eggs. Eggs are definitely going higher, but still under $2 for what they call large. Now, I got to stop right there because I'm pretty sure you guys are staying in the know. You guys have followed, you know, my recent videos and even many of the other bigger prepper channels like Canadian Prepper, Full Spectrum Survival. So, you know, there's a lot of other prepper channels that have been touching on this, but here's the thing. You've got the avian flu, which has taken out hundreds of thousands of birds, chickens, hens, and so eggs and chicken and any products that are manufactured, which are derivatives of these products, will be going up in price. And more than likely, manufacturers of these products are going to be going up in price before the shortages actually take effect. So definitely brace for that. And as we can see here, Laura's already reporting that eggs have gone up in price. And just think about it. Like, just think about how many products are made that are not eggs, but they use eggs to produce these processed goods that you find in the freezer aisles. And a lot of your breaded chickens, I mean, breaded chicken in and of itself is going to go up, definitely. But, you know, even if you're buying like those Gordon's fish fillets, or a lot of these breaded types of foods that you find in the freezer aisles, they're using eggs to produce these. So I would expect that those will be going up in price, and that's kind of scary. She says, I imagine in the very near future they will go up significantly if they are even available. Exactly. Shortages are definitely going to be probably more and more prevalent, unfortunately. She says, I like to stock pasta because my family likes it. You can get it so many ways, and it's cheap. And I totally agree. I love pasta. Pasta's great. It's cheap and it lasts forever. I mean, it's so versatile. You can make so many different types of dishes with pasta, and you don't really have to worry too much about your expiration dates. So that was a good comment there. So this next comment comes from Daniel. He says, I live in North Georgia, and I'm not seeing egg shortages, but raw chicken is hard to come by at Walmart. We have many children farms. We have many children farms and a chicken processing plant, and it's still going strong. Many locals in our county grow their own vegetables on their land. This is what is going to help us get through the coming food shortages. Grow your own food. It will help even with inflation. I totally agree. If you have the real estate or, you know, the space in your backyard to build or, you know, establish your own garden, ideally that would be great. Even if you have an apartment, maybe you can get like a small plot of maybe some pottery so that you can, assuming that you have a patio, you can kind of set your plants out so that they can receive sunlight and actually grow on your patio. There's really minimal reasons why we can't be producing at least some of our food where we live. And I don't know if you guys follow Are You Prepared, the channel called Are You Prepared, but that is a very good resource for alternative ways of getting through this pandemic, getting through food shortages, creating additional sources of income, and also creating foods in an alternative method of doing so. So definitely check out that channel as well. Next comment I want to cover. Now, the next comment that I want to cover is from Trudes, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing the name incorrectly, but and really quickly, what kind of prices are you guys seeing in your area? Are you guys seeing elevated prices on milk, breads, eggs? Are you even seeing any shortages on any of these chicken byproducts, such as eggs, chicken itself? Are you seeing increases in the price of milk? Let me know if you are seeing price increases. What kind of price increase are you seeing? Is it 10 cents? Is it 30 cents? Is it $1? Let me know what it was and what it is today, and just go ahead and drop your state down just so that we can get a good idea, a good feel for what's going on in the community. But this comment here comes from Trudes, and it says here, I'm from the UK and I've been prepping for a little while now. When I try to explain this to my closest people, they refuse to hear it. You know, this almost kind of reminds me of that story in the Bible, and it said something, I forget, it was basically Noah was trying to prepare for this flood that was coming. Nobody believed him. A lot of people didn't make it. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of that story. But anyway, when I try to explain this to my closest people, they refuse to hear it. They actually believe that everything will be okay, and this is nonsense. I do feel that something is coming, but I do have that. What if all of this is scaremongering? So, you know, it is what it is. It's kind of like, you know, well, are you going to prepare for retirement? I mean, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. At some point, it will come, you know? And, you know, in my opinion, you know, preparation is, you know, obviously you got doomsday preppers, but there's different levels of preparatory needs. And in my opinion, I want to be prepared for all of them. You know, I want to be prepared for a doomsday event. You know, I want to be prepared for if a massive hurricane comes through and knocks down power for freaking 2 weeks, right? I want to be prepared for the ice storm that leaves you stranded inside of your house for the next 2 weeks, you know, depending upon where you live. Or, you know, a lot of times with the ice storms, I know we're going into the summer, so it's kind of weird for me to talk about ice storms, but they oftentimes weigh on your power lines and kill your power. So, you know, and if you live in a geographical region where there's a lot of different elevations, sometimes you can't even drive on the roads, even if you wanted to, right? So can you survive just being at your house for an extended period of time? So preparatory situations, you know, they're pretty vast. It's not just these crazy doomsday events that would require you to be prepared. But I want to be prepared for all sorts of events, and I've only named a few. Drop me a couple comments down below on some additional reasons why you're preparing. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. I love the community that we're building. I really appreciate the love, and I will see you guys on the next one. Subscribe to the channel. Also hit the like button. Take care.